Before we begin, take just one moment and subscribe to this channel. Many people who ignored small historical details in the past later regretted it deeply. This channel exists so you never miss what others overlook. Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear may change the way you look at old coins forever. Imagine holding something small, cold, and heavy in your hand. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Nothing flashy, no bright shine. Just an old Malaysian coin, dated 1959, with the denomination of 30 ringgit. Most people would dismiss it instantly. Some might even toss it into a drawer or sell it for scrap. But history has a strange habit of hiding its greatest secrets inside the most unremarkable objects. Men who lived through the 1950s and 1960s remember that era well. It was a time of rebuilding, uncertainty, and quiet strength. Malaysia was shaping its identity, standing on the edge of change, carving its place in the world. Currency at that time was not just money. It was a symbol of survival, authority, and national pride. Every coin minted carried a message, whether people noticed it or not. The 1959 Malaysia 30 ringgit coin did not circulate like ordinary money. This was not a coin you would casually spend at a market or hand over for daily groceries. It was produced under unique circumstances, tied to a moment in Malaysian history when financial systems were being tested and redesigned. Only a very limited number were struck, and even fewer survived untouched. Most people today have never even heard of a 30 ringgit coin from 1959. That alone should make you pause. Nations usually mint coins in common denominations. When a coin appears outside the norm, it often means one of three things: an experiment, a special issue, or a response to a crisis. In this case, it was a combination of all three. That older collectors know this rule well. Rarity is born from disruption. Wars, political transitions, economic restructuring. These are the moments when unusual coins appear. The Malaysia 30 ringgit 1959 coin was born during such a transitional period. It was not meant for mass use. It was created quietly, distributed selectively, and then almost completely forgotten. Time, however, does not forget. As decades passed, many of these coins were melted down, lost, or damaged. Others were kept unknowingly by families who had no idea what they possessed. Some sat inside old wooden boxes, wrapped in cloth, passed from father to son without a single question being asked. And that is how true treasures survive, through ignorance, not intention. What makes this coin especially fascinating is not just its age, but its characteristics. The metal composition itself is unusual for its time. The weight, thickness, and engraving style differ subtly from standard Malaysian coinage of the late 1950s. To the trained eye, these differences speak loudly. They say this coin was never ordinary. Men who understand history understand one thing clearly: governments do not make mistakes lightly. When a coin like this exists, it exists for a reason. Some experts believe it was part of a limited fiscal test. Others believe it was connected to a private reserve or ceremonial distribution. The truth may never be fully confirmed, which only increases its mystique. Collectors aged 55 and above are especially drawn to coins like this because they remember a world before digital money, before plastic cards, before numbers replaced weight. Back then, money felt real. You could feel its value in your palm. And this coin, with its solid presence and restrained design, carries that feeling strongly. Over the years, whispers about this coin began circulating quietly in collector circles. Not online chatter. Real conversations between serious men, spoken softly at auctions, exhibitions, and private meetings. The kind of conversations where no one exaggerates, because everyone in the room understands the stakes. One collector reportedly turned down an offer that would have paid off his house, simply because he believed the coin's true value had not yet revealed itself. Another spent years searching for a second verified example, only to admit later that he never found one in comparable condition. Condition matters greatly. A 1959 coin that has been cleaned improperly, scratched, or polished loses much of its story. But a well-preserved piece, with natural aging and original surfaces intact, becomes something else entirely. It becomes evidence. Proof that history touched this object and then stepped away. Older men often say, they don't make things like they used to. This coin proves that statement in a way few objects can. The craftsmanship reflects patience, precision, and intention. There is no rush in its creation, no shortcuts. Every detail was deliberate. What truly shocks people is how long this coin remained under the radar. While other rare coins gained attention and fame, this one stayed hidden. And hidden things, when finally discovered, tend to shock the world. As more collectors began to recognize its significance, demand quietly increased. But supply did not. Because you cannot create more history. You can only uncover what already exists. Some families discovered this coin while sorting through a deceased relative's belongings. Imagine that moment. A man cleaning out an old cupboard, finding a small pouch, opening it without expectation, and unknowingly holding an object that would rewrite his understanding of inheritance. This is why experienced men always say, never underestimate old possessions. The world changes, but value often stays behind, waiting for the right moment. The Malaysia 30 ringgit 1959 coin represents more than money. It represents a crossroads in time, a moment when a nation was defining itself, and a small batch of coins were minted to serve a purpose that history later obscured. Today, serious collectors consider this coin one of the most elusive Malaysian pieces ever produced. Its rarity, mystery, and historical context combine into something extraordinarily powerful. Not flashy, not loud, but commanding respect. Men in their 60s understand this kind of value. It is not the value of trends or hype. It is the value of endurance, of survival, of something that outlived its creators and now speaks directly to those who know how to listen. And now, we come to the part that surprises even seasoned collectors. When one verified example of the Malaysia 30 ringgit 1959 coin surfaced in a private high-level transaction, the number attached to it stunned everyone present. No advertisements, no public spectacle, just a quiet agreement between people who understood exactly what they were looking at. The final figure placed on that single coin was equivalent to $1 million. Not because it was shiny, not because it was famous, but because it was rare, real, and impossible to replace. If you have old coins at home, especially ones you have never questioned, now is the time to look again. History has a way of rewarding those who pay attention. And if you want more stories like this, stories that most people never hear, make sure you stay subscribed. Because the next forgotten object might already be in your house.